Hi, my loves. Welcome back. Okay, before we even get into this session, I want to share something with you that made me laugh. When I was sitting down writing out the questions for this session and planning out the opening, I had a feeling. It wasn't quite a voice and not quite a thought, just a nudge. And the phrase that came through was, "You should call this series What in the World?" And I swear I felt my guides kind of chuckling when it landed. Because honestly, that's where we are right now. What in the world? We have two major military situations unfolding at the same time. In Mexico, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel was killed on February 22nd. It happened during an operation involving Mexican forces and U.S. intelligence support. Since then, violence has spread across multiple states. There have been dozens of deaths and hundreds of roadblocks. And with no clear successor stepping in, a real power vacuum has formed. At the same time, Trump has given Iran a 10 to 15-day ultimatum regarding nuclear enrichment, with two aircraft carrier strike groups now positioned in the region. There's military buildup, escalating rhetoric, and a very tense global atmosphere. So instead of reacting emotionally to headlines, we're doing what we always do. We're sitting down, we're getting quiet, and we're asking Spirit directly, what is really driving this? Are these situations connected? And what is the deeper energy behind what we're being shown? As always, this is a spirit led energy check in. This is for spiritual insight and entertainment purposes only. Everything discussed is alleged. Loves, please use your own discernment, trust your intuition, take what resonates, and lovingly leave anything that doesn't. And please remember that energy is always shifting, free will exists, and timing matters. Right now, we're checking into the current energetic landscape, not delivering a verdict. And if at any point you feel called to explore your own personal situations more deeply, I offer private tarot and pendulum readings through my Etsy shop. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment. All right, my loves, welcome to our very first check in this new series that Spirit wants us to call What in the World? Let's see what Spirit has to say about what's actually going on. Trump has been openly talking about sending U.S. troops into Mexico to deal with the cartels. He's labeled them as terrorist organizations and has said that military force may be necessary. Recently, Mexican forces, with reported U.S. intelligence support, carried out an operation in the state of Jalisco that resulted in the killing of El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Instead of things calming down afterward, violence spread across multiple states in Mexico. So the real question we're sitting with isn't just what happened. Is this truly about solving cartel violence? Or is there something deeper driving this push towards U.S. military presence? Spirit, is the current administration considering placing U.S. troops on Mexican soil? Yes, thank you. Does the Trump administration genuinely intend to resolve cartel violence in Mexico? No, thank you. Is there an additional motive beyond cartel violence driving the interest in placing U.S. troops on Mexican soil? Yes, thank you. Is the U.S. interest in sending troops to Mexico connected to securing access to Mexico's lithium reserves? Yes, thank you. Does the Trump administration intend to use military presence in Mexico to influence control over oil or natural gas resources? Yes, thank you. Are private U.S. corporations or defense contractors influencing the push for military involvement in Mexico? Yes, thank you. We just talked about the operation that took out El Mencho in Jalisco. Now I want to slow this down and look at the timing because, yes, Mexico carried it out, and yes, there was US intelligence involved. But the real question isn't just that it happened, it's when it happened and what followed. Because violence escalated, power shifted, and pressure increased. So, is this simply Mexico showing that it can handle cartel leadership on its own? Or was the timing connected to something bigger unfolding behind the scenes? Did the Mexican government proceed with this operation primarily to demonstrate that it can take military action without US troops on its soil? We're getting a maybe. Will this operation reduce or stop attempts by the Trump administration to send US troops into Mexico? Yes, but they're saying that it's just for now. Was the timing of this operation coordinated in a way that benefits continued US military involvement in the region? Can't answer that right now. Did US intelligence agencies anticipate the level of cartel violence that followed the killing of El Mencho? Yes, thank you. Is the power vacuum created by El Mencho's death contributing to conditions that could justify future intervention? Yes, thank you. Did the Mexican government agree to this operation under pressure related to possible US military action? Can't answer that right now. El Mencho didn't leave behind a clear successor. His son, his daughter, and his brother are all in US prisons, so there isn't one obvious person stepping in to take control of what he built. And that creates a power vacuum. And when there's a power vacuum at the top of a cartel that powerful, especially the Jalisco New Generation cartel, it doesn't usually stay quiet. Regional leaders could start competing for control, and rival cartels could see this as an opening to move in and grab territory. And that kind of instability can spiral quickly. Will El Mencho's death lead to internal conflict within the Jalisco New Generation cartel over leadership? Yes, thank you. Will any internal struggle remain contained with the Jalisco New Generation cartel? No, thank you. Will other cartels attempt to seize territory or influence following his death? Yes, thank you. Will cartel related violence be used as justification for US troops entering Mexico without formal Mexican government consent? We're getting a maybe. Will cartel violence be framed as an imminent threat requiring US ground troops? Yes, thank you. Now let's shift to Iran. Trump has publicly given Iran a 10 to 15-day window to meet US demands around nuclear enrichment, and at the same time, military forces are already positioned in the region. Aircraft carriers are there, the language has escalated, and the message is clear: comply or phase strikes. We're being told that this is about preventing Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. So the questions we're sitting with are simple. Is that truly what this is about? Or is there something else driving this push towards conflict? Based on the current energy, will the U.S. initiate military conflict with Iran in March of 2026? Yes, thank you. Will the U.S. fire the first shot in a conflict with Iran? Yes, thank you. Will this shot escalate into a war between the U.S. and Iran? Yes, thank you. Is preventing nuclear weapon development the primary motivation behind this escalation? No, thank you. Is control over oil resources a significant underlying factor in the push towards conflict? Yes, thank you. Is the escalation with Iran being used to redirect public focus away from the Epstein file situation? Yes, thank you. Is not real influencing or pressuring the US towards military action against Iran? Can't answer that right now. Is the Trump administration pursuing a regime change in Iran similar to past foreign interventions? Yes, thank you. Does US intelligence indicate Iran is closer to developing a nuclear weapon than publicly stated? Can't answer that right now. Is Stephen Miller influencing foreign policy decisions related to Iran? Yes, thank you. Iran has already said that if they're struck this time, they're not going to hold back. Unlike the last round, where there was a warning before retaliation, the tone now is very different. It's more direct and more forceful. And at the same time, some US allies in the region, like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, have reportedly refused to allow their airspace to be used. So this isn't just a simple back and forth situation. If something happens, it may not stay contained. Will Iran retaliate immediately if US forces strike Iranian territory? Yes, thank you. Will a US strike trigger a wider regional conflict? Yes, thank you. Will other major powers become directly involved military wise? Yes, thank you. Will US allies that declined airspace access face diplomatic or political consequences? No, thank you. Is the 10 to 15-day window a genuine negotiation period? No, thank you. Now zoom out with me for a second. We have two situations unfolding at the same time, Mexico and Iran. Both involve military buildup. Both involve resource rich countries. And both are happening while major domestic controversies are dominating headlines here at home. That is not something I ignore, and I know you don't either. So the bigger question becomes, are these two separate crises, or are they connected in some way beneath the surface? Are the situations in Mexico and in Iran connected as part of a larger strategy under the Trump administration? Yes, thank you. Is the Trump administration using both of these crises to normalize U.S. military force against sovereign nations without congressional approval? Yes, thank you. Will what happens in Mexico influence the decision to attack Iran? No, thank you. Will what happens with Iran influence decisions about Mexico? Yes, thank you. Are these military buildups being used to distract the public from the Epstein files? Yes, thank you. Is Congress being intentionally kept out of these military decisions to limit oversight and accountability? Yes, thank you. Could either the Mexico or Iran situation be used to declare a national emergency? Yes, thank you. Could either the Mexico or Iran situation be used to expand executive power inside of the United States? Yes, thank you. Spirit, does the current administration want to use martial law in the country? Yes, thank you. Are Trump and the current administration currently planning on enforcing martial law in this country? Yes, thank you. Spirit, is there a pattern with the U.S. targeting resource rich nations like Venezuela, Mexico, and Iran? Yes, thank you. Is this targeting being framed publicly as national security rather than resource strategy? Yes, thank you. All right, my loves, we're going to leave it here for today. And if you're feeling a little stretched after it, it's normal. We just looked at military buildup, global tension, power vacuums, and big picture strategy. That's not light energy to sit in. Take a breath, let your nervous system settle, because you don't have to process everything all at once. Remember, love, what you just watched was a spirit led energy check in. It's not a final outcome and it's not something locked in stone. Because remember that energy is always shifting. Decisions get made and then people end up changing their minds. The pressure builds and dissolves, and timing can change everything. Let me know in the comments if anything in this session stood out to you, or if you felt something shift while we were asking the questions. And if there are any questions that you want me to ask in a future session, leave them in the comments. I read everything you write, and I love connecting with all of you. As always, everything shared is for spiritual insight and entertainment purposes only. Everything discussed is alleged. Please always use your discernment and trust your intuition. Only take what resonates and lovingly leave anything that doesn't. And if you ever feel called to explore your own personal questions or situations, I offer private tarot and pendulum readings through my Etsy shop. You'll find the link in the video description and in the pinned comment below. Love, no matter how loud the world gets, staying calm, aware, and grounded is so powerful, and you're doing that. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll meet you in the comments.